And also, sorry, you might want to go put out the fire. And the guard's just going,
And we just like, head off!
And Darvin's just like, not meeting their eyes as he walks away. So you guys head out. You have an idea of where to go. If you want if you want even more idea of where to go, you could try to track the other carriage, or you can just head straight for the nearest entrance to the noble district.
Cubla wants to track.
Try to follow the hobgoblin's directions to the mansion.
Should you roll a survival or a perception?
Either one.
Inez did both.
I see that.
She would like to assist Cubla.
Are we tracking him? Okay.
Well, it's an option. As you walk out of the entrance to the
I don't see shit.
Adin, it's kind of dark. The cloud just covered the moon. You don't see anything. You guys kind of look around. Well, maybe the moon shined into your eyes and made it so you couldn't see anything. You look around, and you definitely see signs of a fast-moving carriage. Like, you know, the dirt has been kicked up as it skidded around a corner, and you can kind of see the way to go. So you jog along the streets in the middle of the night. Inez, roll me a ride check.
Ride?
Ride.
You're riding Cubla.
I have a +1 in ride, so I actually have some.
Yeah,
Can
and
Cubla help with like dex to see if?
no, it's not going to be a difficult check.
Okay.
That's a solid medium.
Because Cubla's actively trying to help her stay on.
It's not the most comfortable ride.
Nope.
There's some you have to figure out how to ride snow leopard. It's a little bit different from riding other things because they move differently. So you may be bouncing more than you particularly like. But you'll figure it out. And it's very soft, but you're still bouncing on top of a muscly thing.
And luckily, Cubla's a lot shorter than most horses.
Yeah.
So if you do fall, it's not gonna hurt.
And skinnier than a lot of horses. So it's not the most comfortable ride, but neither are you swearing.
Fair enough.
So you guys all jog along.
Attracting as flying.
You jog along down the streets, and it's really easy to track this carriage. You end up approaching. You kind of come to a halt a short distance away from a thick city wall that blocks the street. There's a large gate there, and several well-armed, disciplined guards that are on duty. Their equipment and demeanor suggest that whatever is behind the wall is not outside, but actually a district inhabited by the rich and the influential. So, you have a couple of options at this point. A lot of them are you can try to deal with the guards, or you can try to sneak in via various ways. The guards look fairly alert. You'd imagine that that's because somebody has passed by recently, but not so recently that they're like still actively closing the gate or anything. They look better than your average city watch. They require a slightly better grade of guard to guard the rich people district. So you'll probably want to come up with something pretty good. You see that some of the guards, there's like what looks like arrow slits in the wall. And if you look really close, in the top of, kind of above the door that opens, you see like more openings where they can like drop stuff on you and things like that.
So we're trying to infiltrate a castle. Got it.
Yeah. It's not going to be the easiest thing to get in. You probably don't want a full-on frontal attack, because not only would it be quite difficult, but, you know, this is a city where you're actually in good standing, and killing guards is murder, and will bring the city authority against you guys. Just saying. So you have several different options. Tell me what you think you might want to do. Essentially, the two biggest things are talk to the guards or try to avoid the guards.
I'm voting sneak, but I mean, that's not surprising.
And you can even split the party a little bit, because some
Again?
people... Yes. Just a little bit in this particular case. Because...
Well, Cubla can't talk to the guards, and she'd probably be really hard to through. So...
Cubla and I would like to sneak.
I mean, Darwin says that he could probably get his way through the guards pretty easily. He's a cleric. He could probably come up with some sort of story for him to get through. And he might be able to spin a good enough story to get some other people through.
So it'd probably be hard to explain things like, oh, the giant half-orc or the gnome riding a snow leopard.
Well, Kubla's probably not hiding anyway.
The wall is quite tall, and it looks like there's not guards along the entire thing, but they're mostly concentrated probably on the entryways. So it's possible that you could try to scale the wall. Most people would have a hard time scaling the wall, so they don't expect people to do that. You also might... There's a few buildings that come close enough to the wall that you might be able to climb up to the top of a roof and jump from there.
How tall are the walls?
Let me see if I can find the exact... It doesn't name a number, but I'm gonna say 15 feet high.
Okay.
What is that noise? Sounded like a squeaky toy.
Sorry, that is me. Doing some thinking.
There's actually suggestions for quite a few different of the social skills. These look like pretty honest guards. So
bribery is probably out of the question.
Not out of the question, just you might want to go about it sneakily. You can roll things like you might be able to get more information if you... What's that called? Sense motive. Might give you more information. You could do perception for more information. You could do a luau distraction. Don't know how well that would work, but Darwin thinks he could probably be pretty convincing at saying that he's been hired as a healer for his healing services by what's his face, Vander whatever, Hubel, Van Hobblesnick. What's his name?
Who? What?
Hoggle, Hubel. I know there was an H in there.
Hoggar?
No, not
Hoggar?
Aldar. The bad guy that I just told you guys about. Horrell Van Diesbrock.
Gosh, what?
He could.
Sorry.
If he can remember the guy's name, then he could probably be a pretty convincing saying that he's been hired by Horrell Van Diesbrock for his healing services, and he could probably get at least one person in with him as his assistant.
Inez tries out a story on Darwin, and just as she's telling her diplomatic reason why she's just watching the look of horror on his face, and she's like, I'm not getting any better at this, am I? People are not gonna...
slowly shakes his head.
But they were good purple flying monkeys.
Slowly shakes his head.
Really? Not even the part with the yellow grass?
Slowly shakes his head.
Sigh of defeat.
He's like, maybe if we wrapped you all up in bandages except for your hands and pretended that you were a mute burn victim, I could get you through.
Inez makes a face.
I'm suddenly reminded of my other game in which we convinced a group of Dragonborn that they needed to not look at a guy because he'd been lost at sea and the fish had eaten his face off.
Inez wants to try something else on Darwin.
Okay. Because of course she does.
It did not work, but it would have been really funny. So she walks up to Darwin, punches him in the knee, and says, "You see nothing."
Well, roll a basic melee attack.
Sorry, it occurred to me Inez would probably try stuff before she just went to stealth, but... I was trying to roll stuff and I lost the game.
So, Cubla is gonna roll stealth. I'm assuming Inez has gotten off.
Well, if she's walking up to punch Darwin in the knee, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, "Hello, goodbye, I'm leaving." And stealth.
I'm just trying to give a reason that Inez would actually just go straight back to stealth.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. She's like, "How about I try this?" And Darwin's like, "No." She's like, "Fine, I'll try this!"
No.
And he's like, "No." And depending on how your melee attack rolls determines whether he says no while hopping on one leg. That, I'm pretty sure doesn't hit. Actually, no, that hits. Roll damage. He's the healer. He doesn't have that high of AC.
Oh, that's pathetic, because I have a negative on that roll.
So roll your damage.
What would my damage even be? I was just rolling...
1d6.
Shouldn't it be 1d4? She's
4,
basically
yeah, I was about to say 1d4.
1d4. Either way.
Seriously, all she's doing
One
is punching.
point of damage. So you basically, you hit that nerve in the knee. It
No.
doesn't do any damage, but it doesn't feel good, and he starts hopping, and he's like, no! That won't work either! Ow!
Inez is like, so, I'm gonna try stealth flight, and yeah.
Darwin's like, that's probably a good idea.
Inez is just smirking at him because she knows she's just used him as a test dummy, and he just let her.
Well, he didn't expect her to just stomp up to him and punch him in the knee. It's not exactly something you expect from a
An
teammate.
adventurer like us till he got punched in the knee.
Yes.
He took an arrow to the knee.
That was not an arrow. That was your like hand, fist. There we go.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
It's a really bad roll for me.
That's okay, the guards rolled really badly.
By
Okay,
the way,
so...
Cubla is going to climb over the wall.
Okay. Roll a climb check.
She's got a racial bonus to climb, as I learned. So she gets a ridiculously good climb check.
Yep, you're good on your climb. Inez, you kind of smack one foot against the wall, because you don't quite get enough height to get over easily. But it's like, ah! Thump. But you're over the wall, you're good.
Spider cat. Spider cat.
Yeah, pretty much Kubla's like, meow, 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 backflip, meow, land on the other side.
Except very, very quietly, because she's stealthy. Look at her.
Meow, meow, meow.
Sorin would be so proud of her and her stealthiness. She is so excited.
Stealthy, stealthy, stealth, stealth.
She's like humming the world's version of the Mission Impossible theme.
Yep, pretty much.
And the backflip is.
And the backflip is literally goes over the head of a guard while he's not paying attention. She backflips off the wall. Past the guard
How did he
having a
not
smoke
notice?
break.
Did he sneeze right then?
No, he's having a smoke break.
Oh, okay.
She gets to the other side and she starts washing like, oh, you guys are really slow. Slow humans.
Slow humans are slow.
Yes.
And I kind of just... Well, no, because Inez doesn't know where she is, but I could just, like, picture Inez slowly floating down and landing on Cubla.
Actually, that'd be funny either way.
Would be.
Yeah.
So that leaves Darwin and Adin and Saerenrae.
I'll be back in a little bit. I'm
Okay.
gonna head to the restroom, but then again, Kubla's not going to do anything until you guys get done.
Aiden just looks at the wall. Looks at the guards. Any ideas, Darwin?
Darwin says, this is for his bluff later. Darwin says, I'm gonna just walk up and tell him a story and try to get through that way. I can call you my assistant if you'd like.
No. Did you say the buildings look like you could be used to jump over it?
Yes, you could climb up one of the buildings and then do a
Jump.
jump.
Might as
Probably
well.
like acrobatics to jump across the wall. So
First.
a climb check and then a jump check. And a stealth check if you're trying to do this all stealthily.
Alright. Stealth check.
Okay? You're good because the guards can't see shit. Good on your climb check. You climb up the building that is closest to the wall. It's still a fair distance away.
And I crash into the floor.
Well, I'll give you a choice. Either you fail to even get the jump started, or you fail to end the jump.
Fail to start.
Fail to start. So you...
Fall off building.
No, you trip as you're making the run, and you face plant into the top of the roof. Please roll a d4. Take that much damage. And you can, after shaking yourself off and kind of recommitting, you can try again. I'm going to give you a -2. Because you're a little shaken from face planting into the roof tiles.
Do I have some sort of...
What's he been doing?
He's trying to jump from the building to the wall.
Oh, okay.
How far from the thing am I? From the wall.
I'm gonna say... It's not right next to the wall. I'm gonna say it's probably 8 to 10 feet.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to try to jump again. Do I need to redo my stealth by chance?
No, you're good. The guards rolled really badly. Okay, that's a much better jump. It's a little bit rocky, you know, you're a little wobbly.
And then, do I make it over?
You do. You land a little heavily on the other side. You're on the top.
Here's my landing.
Are you going all the way across the... Or are you landing on the top of the wall?
I thought I'd land on top and then...
Drop down?
Jump down. But
okay.
There's my landing from the wall so I don't make any noise.
Okay.
Racial ability once per day.
Okay.
And then... I have to make one more acrobatics jump.
Yep. This one's easier. You're just trying to land nicely.
Mostly.
It's a little rough, but you drop down on the other side of the wall.
Did Cubla see that?
Cubla saw that.
But I used my feather fall.
Human is as gawky as he appears.
Cubla did not see the nat 1 on the other side. Just the slightly rocky landing at the end. Yeah, well, because the first part where he leapt across and feather falled onto the top of the roof, that one went pretty smoothly. It's just when he went to drop down from the top of the wall to the ground, it was a little more shaky. He didn't stick the landing.
Stairs.
Adin, you feel a judgmental stare upon you. You're
I don't know
sure
where she is, but I know exactly what it is.
You're like, Cubla is here.
Because literally nobody knows where she's even at right now.
So that leaves Darwin and Saerenrae. And Darwin thinks he can probably get Saerenrae through if she wants to try just going along with the talking the way through. Because from what you've gathered, this is like a small town mafia thing going on with this guy. And having a healer show up with somebody who looks like they can do amputations with their bare hands, you know, it could be healing services, it could be interrogation. I'm gonna pause for a second and run to the bathroom. Be right back.
Alright, so let me get this straight. Cubla did the spider cat.
Yeah. Cubla was spider cat without the spider climb ability.
Inez was semi-silent flying. Adin was poor gymnastics. but also smart use of featherfall to hit the wall silently.
Yeah. Cubla's like, doesn't need featherfall.
I don't think Cubla saw the featherfall part either.
No, but she would like to let you know.
But
And now we're attempting to get Saerenrae and Darwin through on
as
the
healers.
possibly healing, possibly carrying, they don't really want to know type of thing. It's better not to ask.
Okay, I return.
Is Tegan here?
Is Tegan here? I haven't heard anything.
Who? What?
Did Tegan step away?
Maybe.
Tegan? Are you there?
Michelle, are you there? I think we're alone in the universe.
Alone in the universe.
Right, Terraria is on sale and humble.
I can do Darwin's rolls, and we can retroactively decide if Tegan was there or not. If Zen was there or not.
I must have missed something about the context and why we have a picture of Timon for the luau thing.
It was
That was one of our
Michelle's
options.
suggestion for how to get past the gate.
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
But really quite entertaining if you picture Darwin in Hawaiian dress. Or Saerenrae.
Would Cubla be doing the interpretive dance?
Probably.
Terraria is on sale on Humble Bundle. Too bad everybody I know owns it.
Pretty much. I rolled a 25 for Darwin's, which probably is going to beat anything the guards can do, but we'll see. Oh, maybe I actually need to decide what their modifier is. No, that's still not enough to beat Darwin's bluff. So he basically, regardless of if Saerenrae is with him or not, he walks up to the guards and goes, "Hi! I know it's late at night, but I'm a healer for hire, and I am basically, well, you know, my services are required at the Van Diesbrock mansion, if you know what I mean." And they're like, "Oh, say no more, we don't want to know." And they'll visit with him as they open the door and let him through, and they mention that he should keep an eye out because if he's heading to the mansion, Horo Van Diesbrock has told them to keep an eye out for some shady people that might try to get there. And he's like, "Oh yes, I'll keep an eye out for them. Wouldn't want them to, you know, interfere with what is planned for tonight." And they're like, "Please, no details. We don't want to know." And he just saunters through the gate, and they close the gate behind him. And they're like, "Do you know where to go?" And he's like, "Yes, yep, of course I know. I've worked for Oro before." And he just saunters through.
Are Tegan or Ine or Michelle back?
I don't
No?
think so. They're being quiet.
Guess that means only one thing.
Sorin! Let's get back to you, I guess.
I was listening to cat video again.
Oh, that too.
Back to Sorin.
Actually,
Everyone
we
gate, back to Sorin.
really can't go back to Sorin yet. Sorin's just sort of waiting.
Yeah, so I was waiting for them.
Because maybe I should watch this cat video.
It's dang adorable, and speaking of it, I think I'm gonna go watch it too. Because it's adorable. And since it opened on my screen that the XSplit is attached to, it will be on the recording.
Go sleep. Go sleep. Go to sleep. No, go sleep. Yep. Hello.
I just really like the ghost. Yep.
Yep.
Hello. It's so cute.
That's the cutest noise.
I was like, meow, meow. I also like
Go
the one
sleep.
I found recently
Go sleep.
that
Go sleep. No,
is
go
the
sleep.
kitten trying to steal
Yep.
beer.
Hello.
I need to find that one because it's cute too. Game on
You know, I haven't
pause
looked at
while
it.
waiting for people, so it is time for cat videos.
I went to Your Player Says What, so...
Yeah.
Where is the foster kitten? Wants beer one. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it?
I
See,
like
it's
this
really far down.
periodic
I think
tables.
this might be easier.
Especially the one that was like, if two people sat at the table, they would be carbon dating.
That's terrible.
It really is.
Rogue finds out there's a flaming sword at a shop. The shop goes back to shop to retailer stocks that you just bought out, leaving the sword on the counter. I grab it and run out. Wait, no. I grab it and jump through the window. Okay, wait, what? I'm going to backflip out the closed window on a ground floor building. Roll acrobatics. Nat 20 plus 5. I pictured the rogue backflipping out the closed window on a ground floor building and not breaking the window and getting through the window.
There we go, I found it. I think. No, not that one.
I cast Fly. Me, a sorcerer, suddenly realizing that Tower of Puzzles, RD have spent hours on, has an open elevator shaft down in the middle. To add insult to injury, I used Twin Spell Metamagic to give another party member Fly, and between the two of us, we carried the rest of the party to our objective at the top.
This one. This is the cat, the foster kitten that wants to have the beer. And actually, there's one version of the post where it's been reblogged, and the person's like, "This is my friend. You need to watch my friend try to save her foster kitten from a life of alcoholism." But I especially like the points where the cat gets really close to the camera.
Jocelyn keeps trying to steal my beer.
I also like that in the description for their Tumblr, they actually have unapologetic cat lady,
it when I pull her
former
out of my
foster
beer
mom
glass.
to Jocelyn the alcoholic kitten.
Oh yeah, the glass is gone. Where did the glass go? Where did the glass go?
Doesn't help that they have like the cutest noises.
I know, there's not much that's cuter than kitten noises.
Yes, that's right, I am holding it.
Yeah.
She's seriously still mad that I won't let her have the beer. Beer is not good for kittens. It's not good for kittens.
I have no idea where our other players went.
I don't know. I also like the
Michelle
sulking.
fell asleep again.
I am hearing a sound that sounds kind of like snoring.
I thought that was from a video, actually.
Jocelyn keeps trying.
That would be Michelle.
Well, she's had a really rough couple of weeks.
Yeah. I figured out what happened to her.
I guess maybe we finish for tonight? Because we've gotten through the gate.
Yeah, everybody's gotten through the gate, and then that would kind of put us into place to have everybody sort of
Infiltrate.
at a position to actually go through the gatehouse and into an actual combat session.
Yeah. It's up to you on that.
But since it seems like it's just us three...
That would be your decision, though.
Yeah, I think rather than watching more cat videos and stuff, I'm going to call it. We've gotten through the majority of the skill challenge. The difficulty was tracking the carriage and getting through the gate.
Which we did.
What we'll do is we'll kind of, next session, we'll finish off that last little bit, which will get everybody back together in front of the mansion. And go from there.
I still haven't heard from Tegan at all, but...
The microphone's lighting up once in a while, but that may just be background noise. Okay, well, I guess that is it for this time, world.
I really need to change my name on Discord. I don't even have my son's icon on it.
Wait, what was that noise?
It isn't me.
It isn't you! Did you fall asleep?
For half a sec, yeah.
Okay. I was like, everybody disappeared.
It's just been a long day.
Yes. I'm thinking since Keegan has apparently disappeared, we have essentially finished the skill challenge. Because
what?
the main key was to track the carriage and get through the gate. At this point, pretty much it's just walking up to the mansion, getting the group back together, and then going in. And as that starts off, most likely combat, depending on what you do. So I think we're going to call it there for the night. And due to Halloween, we will meet again in a month.
Yay!
And hopefully things are a little less chaotic for everybody.
Probably more chaotic for me, but...
Probably.
Yeah,
you'll be getting towards the end of the semester.
Midterm.
So I am going to stop the recording. Say goodbye, world.
Goodbye, world.